I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Monday, July the 31st, as we wrap up the worst month of the dog days of summer here, and maybe we're starting to see some signs of getting over that hump a little bit. We had the weather kind of reprieve a little bit from that big heat wave that we were under, that ring of fire there for a couple of weeks. We had some relief from the drought that's been up in the northern plains and in parts of the Corn Belt, and saw some decent rains this past week across there. And temperatures getting back in the 80s where they're a whole lot more comfortable, and we're not having to deal with the results of the cattle on feed report like we were a week ago, and we should get some cash recovery here early in the week. If you look at the board for last week, live cattle futures for October ended the week at 112.42. That was down $4.98. Feeder cattle, the August contract ended the week at 146.05, down $6.90. Your fats through Thursday of last week, and Thursday was a lot bigger day than what we thought. They hardly had any sales reported, but when it come out on Friday through mandatory price reporting, they had sold over 20,000 head on Thursday. So through Thursday, they had 72,300 head of sales in the 5-area feeding region, and then some more cleanup trade near steady on Friday. So should be getting close to where we need to be for that. So that was a good sign that we got that many cattle sold. And your weighted average on a live price through Thursday was at 117.18, and dress steers averaged 187.88 through Thursday. Both of those roughly down $2. But box beef cutout values seemed to find some footing last week. Finally, they have been dropping like a lead balloon here for the past couple of months, really. But your choice carcasses on the average trade for last week was 206.96, down 92. Your select carcasses on the average of last week's trade, 197.63, actually up $2.24, and now that spread has narrowed down to $9.33. Had an aggressive slaughter for last week. Another good sign. We just keep working through these cattle, and even though we're getting into heavier weights and larger numbers of market ready cattle, it hasn't bothered us yet. We're still very current and getting along real good working through these cattle. 627,000 head killed last week, up 5,000 from the previous week, up 47,000 from the same week a year ago. Your real-time index ended the week last week at 145.82, down $5.02. Like I say, your cash feeders through the week were down $4 to $6, so that makes a lot of sense with your RTI being down $5. It's ringing real true there. But I do think as we get into these early week high volume Monday sales, which suffered the brunt of the losses last week, we could be steady to strong. There wasn't a sharper drop in the cash market than Oklahoma City. They were just sitting there just dead meat on a Monday morning with the board down the limit, and that was really your toughest loss on a trend deal, like $6 to $8 lower. We should recover some from that. I would expect it to be at least steady, maybe steady to firm. Joplin maybe not so much, because they didn't lose a lot of ground because they just didn't have hardly any cattle last week. It was real hot. People were scared to sell them, and they had about the lightest run that they've had all year. Look at an individual quote late last week out east, and I tell you what, these eastern sales this summer have been selling those put together yearlings out there as good or arguably better than our western sales, even in the northern plains. Now you're going to get a stick out deal in the sand hills where some people just lost their mind here once in a while, but on a steady basis, I tell you what, they've really been selling these cattle, especially the Bluegrass Network there that always are reporting with DV Auction and here on Beef Market Central. But you look at Bluegrass Stockyards of Richmond, Kentucky, at 10 o'clock Friday morning, had 60 head of 810-pound steers, bring 152.30. That's your feeder flash for Monday.